You ever wonder why it's so hard to change things, whether it's a relationship or a career or some sort of struggle you're having and you just can't get yourself to do it, or can't understand why other people won't change either, whether it's the stuff that's going on in the world right now or anything? Well, here's why. See, change isn't a thinking process. It's a feeling process. Every ultimate change comes from a massive emotional shift that eventually we just get fed up with something. We're like, I can't live with this anymore. So if you're struggling with change, literally what everyone's doing is they are trying every single possibility to avoid changing. Like they'll do all these manipulative things. It's basically how denial works. We're in massive denial of, I don't want to change, I don't need to change, I don't want to face this deeper problem. And they'll navigate trying all these different things to avoid change until they run out of options. And they generally hit this pain point where all of those options have blown up in their face. They've exhausted all of them. And finally, this huge emotional moment happens. They're in this dark place and they go, that's it. I can't stand this anymore. I'm going to finally go deal with this. And so that big emotional shift is what creates the change. Now, it doesn't have to be that way. I mean, like my book lays out the process of, we don't have to hurt ourselves basically until we change. But right now, that's the only way we've ever been shown, because as a society, it really wasn't until 50 years ago that we started talking about emotions. And most people are unaware that emotions drive nearly every single thing we ever do. Not our thoughts, it's our emotions. And so without that knowledge and framework, past that denial is we've exhausted all options, and that a big emotional moment happens, and so we finally deal with it. But as long as we have options, we'll stay in that denial. We won't want to admit to ourselves that we're imperfect, and we'll keep navigating around it. So if you'd like to stop that, there are a couple ways, you can do it. One, go treat yourself like dirt. Like I talk about in my book, go drink more, overeat more, steal more, have more affairs, like just blow your life up, just destroy it. Put yourself in so much pain, exercising all of those false options, staying in massive denial till the pain gets so bad that you're forced to change. The other option is go back to the source of the pain. And that's what I teach people to do is, if you go back to the source of it, and we all learned it in childhood, it's the studies are overwhelming. The science proves it. You become your childhood. And if you make the choice to face that right off the bat, well, then you can avoid a ton of pain. But if you're not willing to go back and deal with that, as most people are like, I don't want to, it's not my childhood, I don't want to deal with that. Well, then you're making the choice to stay in denial, and you're going to run yourself, you're going to exhaust all those options. And that's okay. Like many people do that. I mean, I've done it myself too in my process. So, but those are really your two options. Keep destroying your life, stay in denial, push the change away and exhaust all of the options of you avoiding the true source, which is childhood pain, until you run out of options. And at that point, you'll make a change. Or start dealing with it now and avoid some of the damage that's waiting for you if you choose not to do it. So whichever way you do it is fine with me. Everyone has their own process. And all I know is this: whichever way you choose, you're doing it the best way for you, and that's what I support. So there's not a right way or a wrong way. You're literally teaching yourself how to eventually overcome it, and I'll never get in the way of that. So anyway, I hope that helps you, especially if you're struggling with making changes in your life. So have a great day.